Man, is this pack heavy. Okay, on this episode I'm going to go over just bug out bags, specifically just the bags themselves. I'm not going to go over what to put in them, but we're going to go over specifics on the physical qualities of the bags themselves and what are some good suggestions and things to look for when choosing your bug out bag. Realistically, my plan is to bug in, but I still have a plan to bug out. I mean, it's just one of those things that you never know, and it's good to have a bag. But there's so many different bags out there. I'm going to show you a couple different ones that are my favorites that I've used for years and some recommendations. Background for me on backpacks. I was in the Marine Corps, infantry, so I did carry a pack, heavy pack, often. I've also been into ultralight backpacking and mountaineering for over 20 years. So a lot of experience carrying a pack on my back. So and that's, and I've been probably longer than that. I've been backpacking since the 80s and climbing since then. So I don't want to date myself, but yeah. So we'll start with some of these. One of the things you got to consider is the size. What are you going to be carrying? What do you need? How do you want it to look? Material, where is it made? How is it made? We'll start off a couple different ones. I'm going to start off with a low budget. That's the other thing too, you're probably going to have a budget. So we'll go from kind of all over the place. But I'll show you one right now that I highly recommend. Okay, now this pack the brand is called spec-ops. It's spec-ops. And it's called just the pack. It's kind of the typical term would be, military-wise, is a 3-day assault pack style. One thing to consider too, if you're not familiar with this webbing on here, it's MOLLE webbing. It's so you can attach military-style pouches onto here. A lot of people are like, oh, I don't want a military-style pack. It looks too tactical, looks too... Go anywhere nowadays, everybody has this stuff. I mean, I had to go for work to a corporate office, and some CEO was coming in with a 511 black backpack, little small one. So I mean, it's not going to matter. Nobody's going to even second guess you. This particular pack though, why I like it, some of the things I like, and so I've had this pack forever. It's made in America. It's made out of Kifaru nylon, not cheap polyester like a lot of the cheaper backpacks. I would recommend, if possible, Kifaru nylon, some better materials that are out there. If possible, try to stay away from polyester packs. Some of them might look good. You want good Fastex buckles. There's actually a brand, and it'll say on there, but one of the other benefits of this pack, and kind of a disadvantage, most of the 3-day assault packs, they just have a waist belt, shoulder straps, sternum strap to keep buckled on you, keep your shoulder straps from coming off. One of the negatives on this pack is it does not have a padded waist belt. They do sell, Blackhawk specifically sells a padded patrol belt with slits in it. You can slide it onto here and make this into a padded belt. So we'll get into a little bit more into that in a little bit though. But I mean, this back panel here is padded. This one actually has a frame in it. You can buy the optional frame to stiffen it up. So if you're carrying items in the back that are sharp or whatever. Now, spec-ops the pack, if you look at this, the inside is bright yellow. One of the advantages of that is when you open it up to look for things, you can really, you can see in there pretty good. Now the frame goes right into here. Can't really see it, but there's a sheet of plastic with 2 aluminum bars to stiffen this up and the padding into there. And then you've got multiple pockets. This one does not have any yellow in there, but good old, I don't know if you can read that. It just says made in the USA. I've had this pack, spec-ops the pack. I've had London Bridge trading packs that are like since the 90s, and I still use them, and they're still serviceable. They'll last, the stitching is better. If you look at this pack, yeah, it looks pretty disgusting. It's pretty dirty. I've had this thing everywhere, but I can pass this on to somebody in the future. It's just built so well. Yeah, it's got some staining and fraying. One of the other things that these packs have, if you put a water bladder in there, you've got a port to run your hose through, a drag handle, which you use all the time. I would recommend, and you're gonna hang it on this, you're gonna drag it. If you're just gonna grab it out of your car, you want this drag handle. I mean, I would try not to get a pack without those. The sternum straps, those are just so, when you throw this on, it keeps the shoulder straps centered on you, and it keeps them from sliding off. And then you do have the hip belt. Generally though, the 3-day assault packs, majority of them are gonna have a non-padded hip belt. But like I said, they do sell an adapter. You can get padded covers to go over these. So, but in general, this is just quick, down and dirty. You're carrying the bare minimums. You're just, comfort's kind of, you're not really thinking of that with this. It's got some comfort, you know, padded back, but it's, the main purpose is a 3-day assault pack. The bare essentials for 3 days. Very similar to a bug out pack. In the military, we carried 3-day packs. It would just be food, you know, some food, some water, ammunition, spares, you know, just things like that. But I'm gonna go on to another pack, just to show you a very similar adaptation of this pack. Very similar pack. This one is Camelbak, the brand, you know, they make the water bladders. This one, very similar. Camelbak makes stuff for the military. These are made very well. Very similar to the other one that I just showed you, but this one comes with a padded hip belt. And I'll show you this. So you still have the sternum strap. You've got the padded belt. Now you can see the padded belt. You want it resting just above your hips. One thing a lot of people don't realize too is a lot of packs come in different sizes. So, and as you can see, shoulder straps wrap over my shoulders. Hip belt is on my hips. When you load these packs, this one is, I would say, a 3-day plus pack. You can carry a little bit more weight, a little bit more comfortable. So this one with the padded hip belt, when you load it down, most of the weight is going to be riding on your hips. You're going to snug this up. It'll carry the weight on your hips. It still has that plastic frame sheet in there. It still has the MOLLE webbing. Still has the Velcro ports to run your water bladder through. This one actually has a separate pocket for a water bladder. It's a little nicer. And this has the nice straps that go over and kind of wrap back over your shoulders. So it just keeps it nice and snug to your body. And in general, you want the heavier stuff closer to your back. One of the things you see people do all the time is take carabiners and just clip all this weight, like water bottles and stuff, the outside of your pack. When you're moving, that stuff's going to be swinging and going and moving and offsetting your balance, and it's going to actually just feel much heavier. So with something like this, you want to put everything inside the pack if possible. If you need to add more stuff on there, you can put some extra pouches, but you want to keep it snug. So one of the things that all these packs have is you can see these straps on the sides, so you can cinch down and bring this pack in as close as possible. So if you don't fill it up all the way, you can cinch it down and make it a little bit smaller so it's not flopping all over the place. And these Camelbak packs, this one I believe is called like the Motherlode. They have one for, the one I really like is the BFM, Big Effin' whatever it is. I think that's literally the name of it, but it was made for the military. So, but Camelbak ones tend to have a little bit more organizational things for like radios, pens. They got some little things to clip your keys into there. There's your H2O port. It can go either side, left or right. There you go. It's just a little fabric. Yeah, you can see right there. You can run your hose through there. Your hose goes into the pack. You've also got on the side, very similar, these can be for radio antennas. there are openings into there though. One of the things you're going to want too, and I'm going to kind of jump all over the place because this should pertain to all packs, no matter what brand, whatever. Get a pack with waterproof material. How do you know it's waterproof? Most of anything made for the military with the Fedora, it's going to have, let's see if I can show you. It's going to be kind of hard to see, but the backing of the Fedora, it's got like a rubberized coating on it. A lot of the cheaper packs are not going to have that. Now, granted, your zippers, everything like that, they are not waterproof. So regardless of the brand, regardless of the waterproof rating, you want a bag with waterproof fabric. I would consider it water resistant, even the military packs, but the fabric itself is waterproof. The stitching, all that water can get in there. And then what you're going to do is take either a military waterproof bag or a garbage bag and put it inside your pack and put all your stuff into there, roll the top, tuck it in there, and then zip it up and cinch it down. You can swim with that pack, it'll stay watertight. You want to keep everything dry. But the fact that the fabric itself is waterproof is it won't absorb extra weight. And all the military ones have drainage holes in the bottom. So your waterproof bag will stay dry, all the excess water will drain out, and it'll be less weight on your back. And here's on these Camelbaks, you can see that's where your water bladder would go inside there. Okay. And here you can see they've got the little tag on there for the Fedora, real Fedora fabric. You get some of the military packs, they might not have the fancy thing like that because they've made military contract, but like the spec-ops, the pack, I don't think it says that. Okay, I'm going to show you another style pack. Okay, this is a very small Mystery Ranch. Mystery Ranch makes a lot of backpacking, mountaineering packs. They make stuff for the military too, but this one is very non-tactical, but it still has a lot of the same qualities. It's a quality brand. For backpacking stuff, there's tons of brands, but the ones I personally like, Mystery Ranch, out of Portland, Oregon, Chilo Gear. They make like non-woven Dyneema. When I did mountaineering and stuff like that, that's all I used. Phenomenal packs, but this one, not made to carry a lot of weight. So as you can see, you've got the padded back. This one's got some like breathable mesh. You've got your shoulder straps, no waist belt at all, and your sternum strap. So, and your carry handle, as you should have, because in climbing, a lot of times you'll clip this onto a carabiner, taking a break. This one does have some water-resistant zippers, but this one is called like the tri-zip, so it's a little different. It opens up like that, but you still have a spot in the inside for your bladder. You get some little pouches in there, but this one you're not going to be able to carry a lot of weight. So this is a great pack for maybe your kids or something, you know, if you're going to be carrying a lot of stuff, or if you're going to go ultralight and just carry the very bare necessities. This one you're going to blend in everywhere because it just looks like a hiking backpack. It's got a lot of little features in it that, you know, your top pouch, you can clip some keys into there. Okay, I'm going to show you another similar. Okay, this one is Gray Ghost Gear. I would consider this like a micro assault pack. It's smaller than the 3-day pack. It has very minimal padding on the back. The shoulder straps are very thin. You do have the sternum strap. You have no waist belt, but you do have the molly webbing. This one's camouflage. Some of the packs, the military ones, are going to have they call it the hook and loop or Velcro. It used to be just Velcro, but now this one's the loop. The hook is the rougher Velcro, so you can put like your patches, but it's also got on the inside the same thing, and you can put different hook attachments in there. There's holsters, there's all kinds. So if you've got that, if you get a backpack and you're looking at it and you're like, oh, it's got the Velcro on the inside, but there's like nothing, it didn't come with anything. they sell, and I've got some in here to show you. You can get different things, like this is a medical insert, if you can see it. It's got Velcro, the rough Velcro on the back, so you can stick this into there. And then it's got little elastic loops. You can stick different things in there. Here's another one. This one is a molly panel. So you have, if you have molly pouches, you can stick them on there, and then it Velcros on the back. And then this one's like an admin style. It's got some elastic loops, and then it's got some pen holders and things like that. And it's got the hook Velcro on the back. These could be, you can get them from 511 used to make them, Blackhawk Tactical used to make these, Vertex I think still makes these, and there's some like generic ones on like Amazon, but they're called, like you got to do a search, like eBay changed their thing, so if you search on there you can't really do Velcro anymore. They want you to either put, if it's not true Velcro brand, you have to put hook or loop, so that's one way to search for it. You can do a search on, you know, hook or loop pouches, you know, thing, and just and find them, or holsters, because you might want to carry a gun in there, you know, different things. But it's a good way to organize, because a lot of these packs, like these smaller ones, don't have as much organization. This one just has the main compartment, and then this little hook and loop section in there, so you can put some things quick and easy. So these little packs are nice. Maybe for a bug out bag, you may want to put like an armor plate in there and have your handgun in there. So that way, if you're going through town, get it over, and then something happens, you can take with that armor plate in this small one, put it in front of you, and then you can reach in there, and if you got your Velcro holster, you've got it, you know, right in there. And on this pack, believe it or not, it has that you can go through either way. So if you're a righty or a lefty. The only negative with this, with no weight in it, it doesn't want to stay there. But if you buckle that sternum strap, it won't come off of you. And you got a plate in there. But the only thing is, you put a plate in there, you put a pistol in there, it's going to start adding up in weight. And that would be more urban, which, living rural, I don't know as much about that anymore. So, but even a pack like this, camouflage like this, you'll still blend in wherever you go. You know, as long as you're not head to toe camouflage. Like if you're wearing, you know, a regular coat, whatever, camo, nobody's gonna second guess nowadays. So, and this one, believe it or not, even this little one has a water bladder spot in there. So, but Grey Ghost Gear makes very good stuff. So, it's another great pack. Last one I'm gonna go over is a bigger pack. Like you got longer distance to go, or you just have a lot of stuff you got to get out of, you know, and you really don't care what people think. You're going to want a rucksack, like a bigger pack. I did have, and I wanted to have it for this, I just don't even know what I did with it. I used to have a Marine Corps, the newer framed pack. It has an external frame, plastic frame, padded hip belt, shoulders, straps, and what that does, you can carry a lot of weight, and it has a little space between your back and the pack, so you get some airflow and some good benefits to that, and load carrying abilities. The negatives are, it's further from your back, so your point of gravity, everything changes. It's not as good for like climbing, things like that. It's bulkier. The one I really like that I use more often is a 511 pack. It's their biggest pack that they make. I will show it to you now. Okay, this one is the 511, the Rush 100. I believe it's one of their biggest packs that they make. There's a lot of, in this category, you can find, you know, all kinds of things. But this size range, military backpacking, there's, you know, you just want a good brand name if possible, good material, waterproof fabric. This one though, I'll show it to you. It would be considered a framed, internal frame pack. It has a stiff plastic frame sheet in there, some aluminum stays in there. It has a padded hip belt that's stiffer, and the hip belt itself actually has some stiffening element to it. It has the sternum strap, the grab handle. The big difference on this though is the size, and these have, unlike all the other ones, The other packs, you buy the size of the pack. You know, maybe small, medium, large, one size fits all. This, if you look, you can adjust the suspension. So you have your hip belt and your shoulder straps and your torso length. You can adjust it. There is a range that it will fit and there's a range that it will not fit. And depending on the brand, they may offer a frame size in a small, medium, or large. One of the things, if you're planning on getting a pack this style, highly recommend go to like a backpacking store, REI, something like that. They will fit you up and size you up for the proper frame size, because you're going to be carrying weight with this and you want it to fit correctly. So, and with this, you're going to try to carry all the weight on your hips and not on your shoulders, because your shoulders, it will not feel good. But like this pack, you've just got side pouches that you can remove. I mean, it's just gobs of space in this thing. It just opens up. You've got your compression straps. This is just a top compartment. You got some big pouches. You know, I mean, the problem also, you may want to consider this too. Like I said, I'm jumping all over the place, pack-wise and size-wise. When I used to mountaineer, I learned one thing. If you get a big pack, you'll fill it. So I kept trying to slim down my pack. And when I first started mountaineering, I think my pack was like 50 pounds. And towards the end, I don't mountaineer anymore, but the last time I climbed Mount Rainier, my pack was maybe 20 pounds. And it was way more enjoyable. You could move faster, farther, with less energy, and, you know, cover much greater distance. With the big 50-pound pack, you're slugging, you're feeling it the whole time. Unfortunately, to get that weight down, you're gonna spend more money on little things and cut out certain things. But you know, something, maybe a cooking pot you have that's stainless, go to titanium, lighter weight materials, insulating such as like down, things like that. You can really cut the weight down. So it's one thing to consider, because if you have this big pack like this, you're gonna want to fill it. So the only time I'd really recommend this for a bug out bag is if you get one of the 3-day assault packs and you just cannot fit everything in there that you really think you need. Say, you know, you're the head of the household, you've got kids, you've got to carry stuff for them, maybe you need to carry a lot of extra stuff. But, you know, so that's one thing to consider. But like I said, you're gonna fill it. And that's one thing you're gonna try to not want to do. But like I said, I'll show you this now. Okay, pack is on. I'm going to show you this though. This sternum strap, a lot of the good sternum straps will have this. If you see on there, it's a nylon piece right here with an elastic webbing right there. So that way when you're moving, you can see it'll stretch and then it won't give any, then it will not give any more. But it gives you that little bit of, so when you're moving, it moves with you. Okay. I want you to take a look at this though. Hip belt is on me, shoulder straps. This one I'm going to show you now too. See the straps above me right here? These are referred to as load lifters. So I've got the shoulder straps, and you can't really see now, but when I put weight on here, it's going to go down like that. The shoulder straps should just wrap gently over your shoulders. There shouldn't be like this. If this is your shoulder, the strap shouldn't go up like that. You want them to wrap over your shoulders like they are on here. And you can see that right there. The weight's on my hips. So with this, I could probably carry 50 to 100 pounds and cover, you know, pretty good amount of distance. These load lifters, those you want to play around with, because your pack is a little bit higher and it snugs that weight onto your shoulders. So those you can snug, loosen. In the Marine Corps, like different things, even mountaineering, a lot of times as the day goes on, you play around with them and you can kind of feel how it adjusts the fit on you. Because one of the things you're going to want to do once you get, this pack or any of these other packs, you're going to want to put some weight in it, and you're going to want to train with it. Because what you think you can do and what you can actually do are two separate things. You'll be surprised. I mean, things are going to hurt, your hips are going to hurt, your shoulders are going to hurt. You're going to have to like adjust, get it dialed in, and packing it correctly. Like I said on this, a pack like this, how I would do it, military-wise, mountaineering-wise, very bottom compartment, sleeping bag, sleep system, because it's light, compressible, shove it down in there. Closer to the back, maybe some food, your cook system, outer pouches. I would do things that you need all the time, headlamp, different things like accessible, but you want the heavier stuff as close to your back as possible, and then lightest stuff on the outer sides of it, and especially towards the top. You want light stuff in the top, because that's going to otherwise you're going to just be, you're going to be very top heavy. But you want to also be able to move good in the pack, and still, like when this thing's on me, it would be snug down very tight. I would have my waterproof bag inside of it, everything cinched in there very well. The top compartments, I probably wouldn't put a waterproof bag in there because I'd have my headlamp and different things like that, compass, whatever, and most of that stuff is water resistant anyways, waterproof anyways. One of the things you may want to get for a pack like this, I think Hill People, I have a pouch. It's a chest pouch that you can either attach to this or wear it on a harness separately though. Because with the hip belt, if you're wearing a concealed carry gun, it's very hard to get to because it's actually interfering. Like mine right now is actually stuck behind the belt. The Hill People makes a chest pouch that fits right here. And you can get it with the moly webbing on the front or no webbing. And with that, you can put essentials right here in this pouch. And you can put like your handgun in there, which is, when I go to bear country, I carry a handgun in my chest pouch in there. But it's one of those things. But unfortunately, if you're going through a downtown area and you're bugging out and well, actually nowadays, you'll probably just look like a vagrant or something and nobody will even second guess you. Even this pack, it really doesn't look that military. It's just the brown color, but you can carry a lot of weight. If you're away from people, you can actually strap a rifle to the side. Carry a lot of weight in here, but I have this. I use it for winter camping a lot. My bug out plan, personally, I really like the 3-day assault pack styles like I showed you earlier, like my spec-ops the pack. That's preferably what I would carry for most things. I mean, if it's end of the world, zombie apocalypse, and something's going to destroy our homestead and we got to get completely out of here, then I'll take the big pack and try to carry as much as I can to get out of here. But realistically, you can't carry that much. I mean, you carry 100 pounds, you're not going to get very far in a day. Carry 50 pounds, you're going to move a little bit faster. Carry 25 pounds, you're going to cover a lot of distance. Generally, I travel no further than like 25 miles from this place. So I have a get home bag that's very lightweight to get home. And that would be one of the smaller backpacks. I keep it in my vehicle. It's got a little bit of food, a little bit of water, and just some very essential stuff. But with a less than 10 pound pack, 25 miles, I can cover it in a few hours. So it's not that worried. Now, when the weather changes though, and it's winter, you're gonna have to think about that with your bug out bag. You're gonna have to add some cold weather stuff in there. The good thing about that, from mountaineering, down or like Primaloft, it's light and it compresses well. The Primaloft or down, and you can put that in your pack and like put the heavy stuff and then put it around that to kind of cushion it and silence your pack, because you don't want it to be noisy. But the other thing that I didn't really go over is, like I said, I'm not really going over what to carry, but you're going to probably want maybe a shelter. So a pack like this, it's longer. You could easily fit like tent poles in there. You could fit a lot more stuff in there. But like I said, you're going to end up, if you don't think you're going to use that stuff, you can get away with one of the smaller packs. The one thing you're probably going to want to carry that I recommend regardless is some kind of a ground insulating pad. Military uses the closed cell foam or the Thermarest, the self-inflating pads. A A lot of times you can strap that to the bottom. When I did a lot of mountaineering, I just had a self-inflating one that I kept inside the pack. But yeah, it's like I said, you're gonna want to, the bigger the pack, you're gonna try to fill it up. So always remember that. And just for size difference, you know, you got your big pack versus little packs. One last thing I'm going to go over too, zippers. You're going to want to make sure you have good zippers. Usually they're like YKK. You want a good brand of zippers. A lot of them they'll do like some paracord tie-offs on them. And one thing you may want to keep in your gear, these are considered Fastex buckles. If you look at them, they're sewn on. There's like a loop of fabric and they're sewn on there. They do sell Fastex repair buckles. So these little bars that are in there that the fabric is sewed around, they have a slit in them. So if this breaks, I can take that repair buckle and kind of weave it in there and then fix this, because these buckles can break. So that's one thing you can have repairs of those. You can do, you know, all the stuff. They do sell plastic hardware repair kits. Another thing that you might want to have for this, I have one. It might even be in here. It is not. They do have, I've got a camouflage rain cover for this. It's softer fabric, but it's camouflage. So say I'm, you know, bugging out on the road, but then I need to get off-road. This color, it blends in pretty good, but the camouflage will work out much better. That's another thing you might want to consider, is getting a rain cover too. Not so much for the rain protection, it'll help, but like I said, because all these good packs have drain holes and different things, like this one's got a drain slit in the bottom. But yeah, the 511 packs are good. I would still say an American made, like London Bridge, the spec-ops the pack, tactical tailor, like some of the ones made for the military specifically, Eagle Industries, they're just going to last and last and last. But you're going to spend a lot of those 3-day packs cost more than what this pack cost. So just take that into consideration. As to the price, like here's that spec-ops the pack. This thing's probably 20 years old. If you're on a budget, look on eBay, look on Facebook Marketplace, like Blackhawk brand, spec-ops the pack. I mean, you can usually find a used one. Used 3-day assault packs, you can get them for like 50 bucks. I mean, and they're gonna last much longer than that brand spanking new made in China one. Color-wise, if you don't care, that digital army ACU pattern, they're like giving that stuff away now. I mean, it's not the best, but I mean, you can get one of those cheap. Another one that's, you can get just older patterns, you can get black. I mean, they come in, you can find used ones all over the place, but like a lot of guys that just buy gear all the time will just get rid of something just to get the newest, latest, and greatest. And another pattern is DCU, the old desert camo. That stuff's like, you can get it really cheap now too. Or the old woodland, or there's just different things, or just olive green, just, you know. Even if, so if you see one like this, it's all beat up, whatever, as long as it doesn't have any holes in it, you know. Another thing to keep in mind too, with these better made American brand packs, like London Bridge and things like that, if something is wrong with your pack, you get a hole in it, something rips, they've got a lifetime warranty, most of them. You can just send it in and they'll repair it. So that's, one of these will last so much longer than like those cheap packs. You know, if you're just going to and from town, whatever, but if you want your life to depend on it, get a good pack. And I can't stress that enough, because like I said, this stuff, the old saying, buy once, cry once. You have it, it'll last for a long time. Like I said, I'm guessing this pack is over 20 years, and I use it all the time. Like, I even used it when we hooked up our Starlink, I had to climb up on the roof onto our radio antenna, threw all my tools, everything into this, climbed right up there. Just a great pack. Hopefully this was helpful.